coming to the end of this set of lessons. Today is your review, pep talk, story day. So I'm just going to tell you a little story and then we'll get on to the review, which is not too hard today. They're getting pretty short. So my story for today is about when my husband and I lived on a little island down in the bottom of the Caribbean called Dominica. And he was there for medical school, and I had 2 kids already. I had just had my daughter, and she was 6 weeks old, and I took her down there as this tiny little baby. Anyways, and then I had my oldest, Kato, who was 2. So we lived on this island. It was amazing. It was probably one of my favorite places I've ever lived, and got to do such fun things. But while I was there, I got into kind of crafty stuff because, well, you have to find things to do while your husband's at school all day long. So my kids and I were always trying to find things to do and things to make. And so they had these vendors who would sell these little bracelets of red beads. And I saw them all the time. And so I was like, man, it'd be really fun to make one of those bracelets. And one day we were walking along, and there was a tree that was just dropping these little beads that they use for the bracelets, and the beads were actually like little seeds. They're kind of like little seed pods. Anyways, so I was super excited, and my friend was with me, and she was excited, and we're like, we're gonna make all these bracelets, because I had brought with me a little drill tool. So I was like, we're just gonna drill holes in those and put them on bracelets. And as we're picking these up off the ground, and we're like, kids, pick them up, help us pick these up. And so all the little kids are like picking up these beads and these little seed pod things. And a lady came past, and she's like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. And we were like, oh, why? And she's like, those are bad. Like, you shouldn't touch those. And so we were like, okay, and we actually didn't listen to her. And so she walked away, and as soon as she walked away, we started picking them up again because we'd seen them, around. So we're like, there's nothing wrong with these. So anyways, we brought them to my house, and we started drilling holes in them, and like the drill, when you drill holes in these little seeds, it would spray out like a puff of dust, from the seed thing. And so we were making this big mess with these seeds, and the kids were helping and all this stuff. And then, so we did this, most of the afternoon. And then in the evening, I was like, I just had this feeling I should probably look up and just see if that lady was right, if these seeds are dangerous. And so I looked it up, and I found out that those seeds are actually very poisonous, and the people on the island used to take them. So the island was passed back and forth between France and England a whole bunch. So they had war going a lot. People coming in, trying to take over the island. And so anyways, for a while there was a lot of battle. And the two groups used to use these seeds to try to poison their enemies. When I read that, I was like, oh no, because my kids had been picking them up. We had just been breathing the air of them all day long. And so I thought, oh my goodness. And the worst part, so I cleaned it all up really fast, got rid of it. But the worst part was the poison doesn't take effect for 2 weeks. So you don't know if you're going to die for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, I was like stressing that I had just done something to my kids and I that was gonna kill us. And anyways, it was a horrible idea, but I learned my lesson. And what do you think I learned? I learned that I needed to listen to people who knew more than I did. So here's this lady on the island. She lived there for a long, long time, and here I was, a newbie, thinking I knew everything. I should have listened to her from the beginning. So in your life, you will have a lot of things where people tell you probably shouldn't do that, right? There's so many things that can harm you and are not good for you. And if you have people tell you that, you should listen. You should listen to them. They're trying to help you. They're being a voice of warning. So heed the voices of warning in your life. So that's my pep talk for today. Just remember me and my seeds that Thankfully, didn't kill myself and my children, and my friend and her kids, but we got rid of him, and he did that voice of warning. Today for our review, we're beginning on page 175 of Learn to Play Piano. You have made it through all of your notes. Congratulations! We just have a few more review lessons after this. For today, we're going to do 3 pages. So starting here on page 175, at the top it says, label the notes on the lines below. Then draw a line from the treble clef note to the bass note that matches it. We are using ledger lines, and so on the top you'll label those notes, and whatever is the same note below, you'll draw a line to match that. Go ahead and complete this assignment, and then come back for the next page. Our second review page today is notes page 108, and it's pretty simple. You have one direction, label all the notes with their note names. So you're just going straight up the treble clef and straight down the bass clef to review all of these notes. Go ahead and complete this and then come back to the video. Our last review page today is notes page 109, and here we again just have a flashcard dash. Time yourself, see how fast you can go. We have a few of these coming up, so if you can get faster and faster, that would be awesome. After you do that, make sure that you're going to your answer keys at the end of this video, and you're checking all of your work to make sure that you have it correct. Fix anything that needs fixed, don't worry about that. We're just hoping that you know your stuff, know the information, and can move forward. So, great job, and I'll see you at the next lesson.